Meanwhile, such a booming time for British boxing. I'm not sure Glenn has seen a better period in all his many years, and we're delighted to welcome back to Sky Martin Murray.
Hey Adam, thanks for having me on.
Martin, you've jumped into the, should I say, the hot division, the super middleweight division after a big move.
Yeah, obviously I've changed promoters. I had a great relationship with my last promoter, Golden Gloves, and I'm still doing now. You know, it was hard leaving him. But yeah, I think the timing was right with me fighting all over the world for the past couple of years to come home, and you know there was no better person than Eddie and Matchroom in you know, the platform Sky Television. So yeah, it's good to be back, and I'm looking forward to fighting in a couple of weeks.
Why? Could you no longer make middleweight? Why was it? Why?
No, I can make middleweight, and I will if the right opportunity comes along. But we've said it now for a while, me and my team, that we feel that I'd make a better super middleweight than a middleweight. So after the Golovkin fight, the natural progression was to go up rather than waiting about for another chance at middleweight.
What a division it is, red hot at the moment, not just obviously Carl Froch, but James DeGale winning. Recently George Groves has got the big fight with Badu Jack. There's Callum Smith, Rocky Fielding, Paul of course in with Andre Ward. It's never been better, is it?
No, it's absolutely buzzing at the minute, and you know, me moving up and my name's obviously getting through in that mix, it's exciting times.
Looking at those world rankings, is there anybody in particular you fancy? Everybody has a dream, has a fight to become world champion, to get up there. Is there anybody that stands out to you?
Yeah, number 2. Yeah, I'd love that.
Have you always wanted to share a ring with Carl?
Yeah, Carl's a great fighter, he is. And you know, he's the main man at the minute at super middleweight. And obviously I think I can beat him. And that's the fight I'd love, you know, the biggest fight out there.
You've been so close, haven't you, in the middleweight division. Felix Sturm, we remember the draw out in Germany. You did so well against Sergio Martinez as well. Gennady Golovkin probably, as you'd admit, a bridge too far. But you've had that experience now. Can you take that into the 12th?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been in with a lot of top fights at middleweight. I've got to move up now to sleep and establish myself at that weight. But I'm confident of doing it. You know, all these fights that I've had, you know, these stand me in good stead to making that step up. And you know, after the Golovkin fight, even though it was a loss, I've come out very positive and, you know, ready for anyone.
Martin, I look at these fights and I think, you know, you're a big middleweight. Do you think you'll have the power now stepping up to super middleweight to make a difference?
To be honest with you, I think, you know, me making middleweight affected me power. So I think obviously me not taking that extra £8 off will keep the power there with me. Power that we've got in the gym that we just seem to lose that little bit when we get to 160.
Glenn, Martin, is it a good move for him?
I think it is. I think it's a very good move. He's obviously going to get seen by the British public. He's going to be on very big shows. So his profile, which is already good, you know, which he gained with Gennady Golovkin, is going to go, you know, through the roof. And when you look at the list of fights and fighters that's out there, it's really exciting, because you look at the British fighters, you know, forget about the guys in the rest of the world, some good domestic battles there.
I think Abraham Stieglitz as well, who are meeting there in the pot. So you could almost pick those two out and put any of them together, and you'd be right in there.
Yeah, the division's buzzing. You know, I'm stepping up. I'm not here to, you know, badmouth anybody. I just want the big fights, and obviously I want to become a world champion now that I've got the back of the Matchroom. And obviously Sky Sports, I think that's definitely, you know, a possibility.
He's a typical kind of fight. Doesn't shy away from a tough one. Golovkin, he's talking about wants to fight Carl Froch here, wants to step up to the plate.
I think that's why it's so popular, because you know what you're going to get. You know you're going to get somebody who's going to give 100, 110%, and who's always going to be there, going to be in front of his opponent, going to be giving the best he's got, and having a proper fight. So I mean, that would be a fantastic fight with Carl Froch, just because of the blend of styles. It would really be a, you know, as they say, a barn burner, wouldn't it? So, but there's some excellent fights for him.
That's kind of what Eddie Hearn said at the press conference yesterday, saying you're a promoter's dream. Can just come and say, "Man, I've got your fight against such and such. Yeah, that'll do with me."
Yeah.
Is that the attitude you've had all the way through?
Yeah, all the way through. I've always said that when I hang my gloves up, I want to say that I fought the best, didn't duck any fights, and you know, yeah, I've just been doing that since I turned pro, and will continue to do so. I just want the big fights, and obviously the ultimate aim is to become world champion. But if I can get some big fights, and especially domestic fights, which I've always wanted, I couldn't make them at middleweight for whatever reason. You know, I think they can definitely happen now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the step up.
So close, but are you good enough to become a world champion and maybe reign at super middleweight? Do you think you've got the class to do that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I've proved, barring the Golovkin fight, there's no qualms about that. Like, I'll take that as my first loss. Obviously proved against Martinez. Stern, you know, maybe the draw was the correct decision. A little bit too soon for me, that fight, but obviously I'll take the opportunity. But Martinez, I thought I won that fight, but, you know, I proved I belong at that level at middleweight, and, you know, I know I belong at super middleweight, so I think the natural progression up to super middleweight will make me a better fighter.
You believe you can beat Froch-de-Gaulle, Gross, any one of them?
Quick fire, which one?
Of course I do, yeah. You know, and even during the Golovkin fight, you know, everybody's seen what that was like. Even when I was going through all them times of down and being up and in corner, and, you know, it was tough. I still thought in the back of my mind I was going to win. Do you know what I mean? I did. And even up until I got pulled out, I did. And I go into every fight believing I can win, and obviously any fight I'm going to have with any of them in the future, obviously I'm going in there to win.
That's why they love him, isn't it?
It is, and I want to ask him, how good is Golovkin?
Yeah, he's good, yeah, very good. He's he does everything well.
Right.
Obviously it's hard, good defensively, and, you know, he works around the ring.
He managed to expose him a little bit, didn't he, with the right hand?
But what surprised me most about Golovkin was his variety. You know, he punches hard in either hand, and just the way he opened me up. You know, I've been in with other world-class middleweights who didn't do that, but the way he opened me up, you know, with variety of shots, and how he hits hard with every shot. So that surprised me. He's just a good all-round world-class fighter.
I think he'll be unbeaten for a long time.
I do at middleweight, yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see when he steps up to super, whether he's the same monster he is at middleweight, and that's why if the Carl Fox fight happens, like has been mentioned, you know, I'll be keeping a close eye on that, and I'd be very interested, because I'd like to see what he's like moving up, but also I'd like to see how Carl Fox handles him, like, you know.
Fascinating stuff. Good question, Glenn. Meanwhile, Ed's decamped to the northeast to bring us yet more big fight news. There's a bit of a fan rally going on for the Rumble on the Humber.
Well, finally it's on, made official today at a press conference at Hull City Hall. The fight everyone up here has been talking about, as former amateur teammates Luke Campbell and Tommy Coyle put friendship firmly aside for a summer showdown on August the 1st. Tommy, it's been a really big day for you already, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, yeah. The fiance just gave birth to my little boy, my first one. Archie Thomas Coyle at 4:43 this morning, so, you know, best day of my life to date. Even beats knocking Michael Katsidis out in round 2.
You were good friends, amateur teammates, but it seems like you're not getting on so well now.
No, I mean, you know, it's competition for you. You know, at the end of the day, we're going to be getting in the ring and trying to knock each other out. So, you know, who knows, after the fight we might shake hands and may the best man win. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with him. The article he did in the Boxing Monthly, I thought it was unnecessary. This fight doesn't need building up, you know, in Hull it's massive. Well, I'm confident in myself to take the victory and progress and move on. He said a few things what kind of upset me a little bit, if I'm honest. You know, saying I'm just an associate. You know, when we was both skint and we didn't have a pot to, you know, we didn't have two bob to scratch our backsides with. We was working on the market together, selling toys on East Park for £1 a go at the Lord's Maid Parade. And I travelled 5 hours to watch him in the ABA final. Shared a room with him in Australia, and we're just associates now. So, yeah, it was a bit of a kick in the teeth.
Another big domestic matchup that looks no closer to happening is the proposed clash between rival world champion Scott Quigg and Carl Frampton, with the news that the Belfast man will make his American debut in El Paso, Texas against Alejandro Gonzalez Jr. on the same night that Scott Quigg fights in Manchester against Kiko Martinez. That news announced by Baron McGuigan 30 years after he first won his world title. If either of the super bantamweights fancy stepping up in weight, they've got a natural rival in Lee Selby, the new IBF World Featherweight Champion, who returned to Barry in South Wales for a hero's reception and a parade at the weekend. And there was a great turnout as Lee took an open top bus tour of his hometown. And good luck to his stablemate Lee Haskins, who challenges for an interim version of the World Bantamweight crown at home in Bristol this Saturday night against Ryosuke Iwasa. Internationally, Miguel Cotto was impressive on Saturday night, halting Australian Daniel Geale in a catchweight matchup for the WBC middleweight title. The Puerto Rican winning in 4 rounds to set up a mouth-watering clash with Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I had 44 fights in my whole career. Canelo going to be just another one, the new chapter in my career. But first of all, and before Canelo's fight happened, people want to fight, I want to fight, everybody wants to fight, let's do it.
Well, there's no doubt Cotto against Alvarez would be a lot of fun, but up here in Hull, the only big fight anybody is talking about is Campbell and Coyle.
Thanks very much, Ed. Another busy week, and Glenn, a summer sizzler coming up your way.
It certainly is. We waited for that for some time. It's always been on the cards. The boys have made their journey excellent by their terrific wins, and I really can't wait to see it. And they both had different journeys, haven't they? And I think what makes it good is Coyle's had a tougher journey there. Even though Campbell was the far better amateur, he's had a smoother, easier ride. So when they come, it really is who's going to be prepared the most. You know, is it the tough ride, the ups and downs that Coyle's had, or the slick, easy ride that Campbell? It's a really terrific fight, and I'm glad it's happening.
Martin has been calling it collision course for some time, a lovely clash of styles as well. And yeah, most people will fancy Campbell probably from his skills, but Coyle can really punch. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to happen. You know, it's a great fight. It's a great fight for all. You'd say Campbell, you know, I think it's fair to say Campbell's going to be the favourite going in. But, you know, you all know what some calls like rough, ready game comes in as he's going to step up a level for this fight, as is Campbell, so it's going to be an interesting and exciting fight.
Glenn, has it been a long time coming? Prince Nassim Hamid has been inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend.
He has. No, I think it's the right decision. It's a really good. He certainly deserved it. He thrilled us for such a long time. He was an excellent fighter, and you know, he went around the country and around the world following him. And yeah, it's a great inductee in the Hall of Fame. Well done.
Inducted in the canister. There's still time for you, boys. Maybe.
I'm waiting for it in the field.
Up next, we take a look at the emerging, exciting heavyweight scene, and it's sweet homecoming Alabama for the American sensation Deontay Wilder.
You do not want to miss. This is the first championship boxing event ever in the state of Alabama. And I love making history.